The road to WrestleMania is growing shorter and shorter. Who will become the WWE World Heavyweight Champion? And can the Beast conquer the streak? Less than 2 weeks away from WrestleMania, this is the Rope Break Road to Mania podcast, episode 1.
What's going on, WWE fans? I'm AuSSy, your host, and this is the first ever episode of the Rope Break Road to WrestleMania. I'm glad to have you. Hopefully you don't turn off the podcast within the first minute and a half or so. What we're going to talk about today, and if you like this podcast, it's going to keep going here after WrestleMania. If you don't and nobody listens to it, well then hell with you. We're going to get rid of it. Either way, we're going to talk about Christian not being on main event this week. We're going to talk about Scott Hall getting inducted to the Hall of Fame. Razon Ramon getting inducted to the Hall of Fame. We're going to talk about who might be next to get inducted into the Hall of Fame. We're going to talk a little bit about last week's Raw and how action-packed it was, what you guys thought of it. And then we will cover the WrestleMania card thus far. The goods, the bads, the happies, and the sads. Let's get right into things here, starting off with Christian not being on main event. Who cares? Next? No, seriously, for me, I could care less about not only main event, but Christian too. I just don't care. He's never really done anything for me, with the exception of his tag team with Edge. And, I liked him a little bit as Captain Charisma, but since then, his one more match crap is garbage. I can't stand it. The feud with Sheamus is terrible. I could just as soon see him in the Battle Royale, and I'm fine with that. I probably wouldn't even shed a tear if he was left off the card. Sure, he deserves it. Salty veteran. He's given a lot to the company over the years, but I'm not going to miss him. Let's just be honest here. You won't have to worry about me sugarcoating anything because I'm not that kind of guy. As far as that match on main event goes anyways, why was it Christian? Why was it Christian? It should have been Dolph Ziggler to win the match. And I'm not saying this because I'm one of those Dolph Ziggler guys. What I'm saying is you probably could have had two solid Mania matches right there on Raw. They could have been built really fast. You could have had Sheamus screw Christian out of the Intercontinental Championship opportunity. There you go. Their feud is rekindled. They can fight at WrestleMania. That's a good, last match for Christian to win or lose, whatever, and see you later, right off into the sunset. And then you could have had Dolph Ziggler win the match, and, him and Big E have history. Those two can battle it out for the Intercontinental Championship. Even if you have Big E go over at WrestleMania, not a big deal. Get a good feud going. Defend the Intercontinental Championship. It's confusing to me. I just don't understand how the IC title and the US title, neither of them are going to be defended at WrestleMania. Doesn't seem right to me, especially the Intercontinental Championship with all the historic matches that it's been defended in at WrestleMania over the years. You got the Razon Ramon, Shawn Michaels undisputed Intercontinental Championship match. You've got the Randy Savage, Ricky Steamboat match. Ultimate Warrior coming in as the IC champion. It's just, that belt is iconic, and for it to not be a part of WrestleMania or be a part of WrestleMania thrown in a battle royale, it just doesn't make sense to me. But off that topic, onto our next subject, which is that of Scott Hall, aka Razon Ramon's induction into the WWE Hall of Fame. He joins the class that includes the Ultimate Warrior, Jake the Snake Roberts, Colon, Carlito's dad. You've also got Lita. A pretty star-studded class, a very solid Hall of Fame class for sure. And the problems that I'm hearing now from people are not where's Macho Man? Because, yeah, all of us are saying where's Macho Man, but that's not a matter of WWE, whether people want to admit it or not. That has to do with the Paffa family and, whether or not they want him inducted now. Or maybe, they're lining him up to headline in a class. Either way, Scott Hall going in as Razor Ramon, I don't have a problem with it. Why do people have to get so picky and whiny, crying about, oh, Scott Hall's not going in, it's Razor Ramon? You know, I just don't understand that. Never will. I think Razor Ramon is the right way to go in for Scott Hall because let's face it, that's his glory days. That's how he got started off. Sure, NWO is probably the biggest part of Hall's career, but if you ask him, I guarantee you that Razor Ramon is good enough for him. You know, he's just happy to be alive, let alone in the WWE Hall of Fame. I'm excited for him. We're huge marks for Scott Hall, Razor Ramon over at RoadBreakWrestling.com. We love him. And just about everybody loves Scott Hall. How can you not love the comeback story there? Coming back from near death like 20 times just to get inducted into the WWE Hall of Fame, help your son along with his wrestling career. We're excited for Scott. Congratulations, Scott or Razor, whatever you want to say. Now, piggybacking off of Scott Hall being inducted into the Hall of Fame, let's talk about next year. A lot of people are saying, hey, is Razor Ramon going in as Razor Ramon because they want to save Scott Hall for the NWO? Could be. Probably not, though. Let's face it. It doesn't really matter. NWO will go in. It doesn't matter if they say Scott Hall. I mean, obviously they have to say Scott Hall. It was Scott Hall, not Razor Ramon in the NWO. But you know, it's kind of the same deal with Booker T. Booker T went in as Booker T, not King Booker, you know. So I understand the frustration with, hey, why is his gimmick going in but not his name? I think his name will be associated. I think Scott Hall, no matter which way you look at it, is going to be a 2-time Hall of Famer at least with the NWO and then with Razor Ramon. I don't think he cares what name it's under, and neither do I. But anyways, got off topic there for a second. What I was going to say is next year, this Hall of Fame class is reportedly going to have The Rock. That's huge. So if we thought this class was going to be good, I can't wait till next year. Next year's already supposed to be, you know, the biggest WrestleMania ever, the most interactive WrestleMania ever. I can't wait to see what that holds. I mean, obviously, I'm excited for this WrestleMania coming up here, but it's so easy to look past into the next WrestleMania, especially since I'm a diehard Rock fan. And when I say that, I don't mean, you know, picking on John Cena, Fruity Pebbles, boots to asses Rock. I mean laying the SmackDown, checking you into the SmackDown Hotel, 98, 99, 2000, The Rock. Sideburns, sunglasses, loafers. That's what I'm talking about when I talk about The Rock. And The Rock going in, huge for me. Huge for us at Road Break WrestleMania, or RoadBreakWrestling.com rather. You know, we're huge Rock marks as well. We're just about marks of every Attitude Era superstar. So if you're a Cena fan, your time is up, and our time is now for the Hall of Fame, so to speak. The Rock going in, that would be huge. And going back to that NWO thing, hey, is NWO going to get inducted next year with Scott Hall? Probably not. I can't see them inducting NWO in the same class as The Rock. They would kind of, you know, whether you want to believe it or not, I know there's a lot of NWO, WCW marks out there. NWO would fall in the shadow of The Rock at the Hall of Fame induction. And if you disagree, please let me know. Let us know on Twitter anything you disagree with. If you think I'm a jackass for this whole podcast, everything I say you disagree with, tell me. Comment, like, share, subscribe, comment, yell at us, send us a tweet at ropebreakwrestling.com, at Rope Break Wrestling. You can also talk to us at ropebreakwrestling.com and on Facebook, Rope Break Wrestling. Either way, The Rock, Hall of Fame next year, book it. That would be pimp. That would be awesome. I'm already marking out, and it's only because Meltzer said it, and it's not even, you know, technically true. Not everything you hear in the Wrestling Observer is 100% true, as we learned with the CM Punk thing, him coming back in Chicago. Either way, we're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we're going to talk about the WrestleMania card, the good, the bad, the happy, and the sad thus far. Stay tuned. We got a lot more show for you. The Rope Break Road to WrestleMania podcast is brought to you in part by All Right Productions. They do it all. And by WWE Memes, the best non-PG WWE Memes Facebook page today. To sponsor the podcast, contact us via email at AuSSy@ropebreakwrestling.com. That's AuSSy @ropebreakwrestling.com. Now back to the show. Welcome back to the Rope Break Road to WrestleMania podcast. Once again, I'm your host, AuSSy. If you want to write us a letter telling us how bad you think this was, or, hey, I hate this guy, everything he said was stupid, feel free. I don't mind being the heel for today. We're going to talk about now the WrestleMania card, what's set in stone right now, and what we think is kind of stupid or confusing or both. Let's get right into that, starting with the Battle Royale. Is this really going to be on the pre-show? I mean, it seems kind of odd to me to have Hulk Hogan come back. He's got this huge announcement, guys. Hulk Hogan, biggest star in WrestleMania history, arguably the biggest star in WrestleMania history. He's going to come back. Hey, he's got this huge announcement, brother. It's in honor of Andre the Giant. We want to honor him so much that we're going to stick a glorified Rumble match in the pre-show. Thanks for everything you did, Andre. You made the pre-show. Congrats. What? It's odd to me. And then they go through the first week or so, adding superstars to the match and then subtracting them. Oh yeah, by the way, Ryback not going to be in the match. They said they were going to be in the match. They're not going to be in the match anymore. We tricked you. We tricked you. Cesaro, not going to be in the match anymore. Swagger, not going to be in the match anymore. Either way, stupid. I like the concept. Hey, I would have really have liked them to bring the Money in the Bank match instead. If you really wanted to get superstars involved, because let's face it, it's not about honoring Andre the Giant. I hate to say that, but you know they didn't sit down in a meeting and go, hey guys, we've got to find a way to honor Andre the Giant. What they did was they probably sat down and they said, guys, we have so much talent that's not in the show. What are we going to do with them? Well, hell, let's throw them in a over-the-top battle royale. And while you're at it, let's throw Andre the Giant's name on it to give it some legitimacy and to, make it seem like we're going to honor him at the 30th edition of WrestleMania. I don't buy it. I wouldn't buy it with my last dollar. I mean, cool. Good concept. I'm glad there's going to be more talent. I was really hoping Sheamus would get left off the card, but, he found his way in. So the Battle Royale, it should be interesting, but what's going to happen to the guy that wins? He gets a trophy? That's it? Why not, raise the stakes for this? Let's talk about, winner of the Battle Royale gets a title shot, at Extreme Rules, or they get a title shot at, the IC title or the US title or whatever it may be. Let's not give these guys a trophy and walk away with it. That's a good way to, whoever wins, it's not very exciting. Well, yeah, Dolph Ziggler wins and this is great, but what now? Just another push that ends in 2 seconds. Here's your trophy and it's over. Either way, going into the other match that I'm kind of confused with, the 4-way tag match. Usos, the Americans, Ryback and Los Matadores. Yes, I said Ryback and Los Matadores. What a waste. In the words of Grimm and Grimm's Toy Show, what a waste. How could you? How could you do this to us, WWE? How can you stick Ryback, who probably shouldn't even be a tag team to begin with, and Los Matadores? Neither of those teams have been competing for the strap in the last, I don't even know how long. And, I mean, they never were, to be honest with you. And it's like, now we're going to throw them in WrestleMania, the biggest pay-per-view of the year. We're going to throw these two garbage tag teams. Granted, Los Matadores can wrestle. They've got the talent. They have a terrible gimmick. That's all there is to it. You're going to make the tag match a laughingstock, bringing a bull out, a midget, a midget bull. And I can say midget because I'm a short guy. But it would have made more sense for me if they kept the New Age Outlaws in this feud with the Usos. That had a good steam on that feud. And then they take them out and they replace them with Ryback. I would have been fine if they said, hey, we're going to keep it Usos, Americans, Rhodes Brothers, and Outlaws. Now, that's what it should have been. That would have been a damn good match. Throw in a couple ladders, that would have been an amazing match. Can you imagine the Usos jumping off the ladders for frog splashes at the end of that match to retain? Great match. And Goldust and Cody Rhodes are being abused and misused, being thrown in that battle royale. Hell, I would have maybe even taken the Americans out of there and thrown the Wyatts in there. Why not? Why not have the Wyatts, the Usos, the Rhodes Brothers, and the Outlaws? That seems like it makes the most sense to me. You could have had a good in-match push for the Wyatts. I think they probably would have lost there. Usos should retain no matter what, but that would have been a much better match than the one that we're going to see, and it would have opened up something that I think should have happened in that Shield match, and we'll get to that. First, we're going to talk about Cena versus Bray Wyatt. I have high expectations for this match. I know that Cena's going to put on a good show. We know Wyatt's going to put on a good show. Hopefully they have Wyatt cut a promo before the match. That would be amazing. But I have some serious concerns. I've got this eerie feeling that hustle, loyalty, and respect is going to overcome. And I think it's just because of what they're trying to show kids on the current program. They're trying to, rise above this, bullying and whatnot. Well, guess what? John Cena's been bullied by the Wyatts for some time now. It just seems like WWE PG to have Cena overcome and say, hey kids, see, no matter how often you get bullied, if you just trust hustle, loyalty, and respect, you can overcome. And with that, Bray Wyatt's gone. I mean, you can cut a promo all day, but if you can't win a match, the people are going to lose faith. And I really, 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 really hope that Cena can just shrink his ego here and not do the same thing to Wyatt that he did to Barrett and bury him. Because Wade Barrett's coming up on a scissors lift now, banging a gavel. I mean, hell, I like Bad News Barrett. He's funny, but that's not what Wade Barrett should be doing. He should be wrestling. Either way, Cena and Wyatt should be a really good match. If Cena wins, I'm going to be thoroughly disappointed with his inability to put a younger star over, because that's honestly what should happen. If you can lose to The Miz in the main event, granted there was help from The Rock. If you can lose to The Miz in the main event, you should definitely be able to help Bray Wyatt get over here, because if he gets over John Cena here, it's going to be a huge push from there. A huge star building opportunity for WWE. Don't mess it up. Don't mess it up. Moving forward from there, we've got the Shield versus Kane and the Outlaws. Another what a waste moment. Sure. I love the Outlaws. I love Kane. And hell, I love the Shield too. They're just not meant to be in a match together. I love the whole Shield turning on Kane. That was a very well done portion of the storyline. But where the hell did the Outlaws add into this? Yeah, because they're friends of Triple H. Triple H has had nothing to do with the Shield in the past so many weeks as far as this storyline goes. So it doesn't make sense for, it's Triple H's friends and it's the Authority. No. The Outlaws haven't had anything really to do with the Authority. Sure, they won the straps and whatnot, but it hasn't been a pivotal part of the storyline there. I think the best option for them would have been the Ascension. I think we all think that. And it's a really big slip up by WWE there. You could have had, like I said earlier, in that 4-way tag match, you could have continued the Outlaws and Usos feud with those two teams plus the Rhodes Brothers and the Real Americans, or the Wyatts, like I said. That would have been a great match, better than Ryback and Los Matadores. You can throw them back in the Battle Royale, and then you can put the Ascension there with Kane. They're a dark, up-and-coming tag team that would have really, really, really benefited from being with Kane, and they could have won that match. Now what are they going to do? It's clear that the Shield is probably going to go over Kane and the Outlaws here, I would imagine. I mean, what's the point of having the New Age Outlaws and Kane win when they have nothing to gain from it? The Ascension could have come in with Kane and beaten the Shield, and that would have been a huge star-building moment for the Ascension, and then you can properly break up the Shield at Extreme Rules or whatever. They just dropped the ball on this one again. It seems like they were hesitant to break the Shield up for whatever reason. They could have gone with that, but I think with Punk leaving, they needed something for Kane. I don't know. It's a head scratcher. It seemed like for a couple weeks there, the Ascension was the definite replacements for the Shield with Kane there. It seemed like the perfect match. You would have had that NXT flavor in there, and it would have been phenomenal match. Moving forward to the Divas Invitational. Not sure we're moving forward there, maybe moving backward. What the hell is this? Let's just ask it like that. Vicky Guerrero coming out and saying it's going to be a Divas Invitational. Well, what exactly does that mean? Is it a one pinfall? Whoever pins the first diva wins? Because that's not a really believable match if you're going to throw so many of these divas in there. And just reading some of the dirt sheets online, I'm seeing from lordsofpain.net that, it's possible that, maybe we have Paige debut in this match. Maybe you see a return from Karma, Trish Stratus, maybe Lita. Those two can play a cameo in the match. That would be cool. But what the hell would it do for the match? I see AJ Lee losing here. It would make sense for AJ Lee to lose here, but to who? I'm not sure anybody but Paige can benefit. Obviously, if you're holding the women's title, that's great. But who can win and start a feud with AJ Lee from here? I don't know. I don't think it's Slick Rick, a.k.a. Naomi. I think she should probably be Divas champion at some point, but I'm not sure this is the right time for her. I'm not sure it's definitely not the right time for Nikki Bella in my opinion. And if she does win, oh my God, I'd be pissed. I'd be really pissed if Nikki Bella comes and wins the strap from AJ Lee. What? Doesn't make sense. The Nikki Rack attack. I'm John Cena. I'm on Total Divas. And that's the only reason I have the belt. No, I don't want to see that. I do not want to see that. Maybe Rosa Mendez will win the belt. Probably not. Divas Invitational. That's going to be that time to go ahead, get up, take a leak, reheat the dip, the taco dip for, the rest of the night, because that match is not going to be worth watching unless, like I said, you see Paige, Trish, or Lita, make an appearance there. Moving on, obviously, we got Lesnar versus Undertaker, the Streak versus the Beast. And it seems like every year they do the Streak versus something. The Streak versus Mr. WrestleMania. The Streak versus The Game. The Streak versus the Best in the World. Can we just say Undertaker versus Brock Lesnar? Either way, this is a match that we know the outcome of already. There's no way in hell that Brock Lesnar is ending the streak, but it should be a good match either way. I'm excited for the match. It's just not going to have that element that the past three opponents have had. With Shawn Michaels, there was a real feeling there. Hey, this is Mr. WrestleMania. This guy could pull off the win here. Hey, this is The Game. He's been known to bury anybody else. Why not The Undertaker? Hey, this is CM Punk. He could really benefit from ending the streak. This could make him a legend. And none of them beat him. So you're not going to have a part-timer and Brock Lesnar come back and beat the streak. That would essentially bury Shawn Michaels, Triple H, and CM Punk. which I'm sure they wouldn't mind burying CM Punk here, but that's not the right move to do. It's not going to happen. My problem with this feud thus far is it's been quiet. It's been, The Undertaker, rising up, and The Undertaker, scaring Paul Heyman and blah, blah, blah. Granted, the ending to Raw on Monday was great, but I wanted to see some of the old history between these two be rekindled. I thought for sure when we saw Undertaker, stab the pen down on Lesnar's hand, I was thinking, hey, maybe we're going to have a playoff of the old, the biker chain when, Lesnar broke Undertaker's hand there when he was Big Evil. Why not? Why not show the history between these two? It hasn't even been mentioned. Either way, I know I keep saying either way, this is going to be a solid match. It's definitely going to be one to look forward to. And we'll all be watching to see if Undertaker still has it. Because every year we wonder, it's been a whole nother year. He hasn't wrestled in a whole year. Does he still got it? And our answer is going to be the same this year too. Yes, he still has it. And hopefully next year he caps off the streak with a win over Sting. That would be amazing. If Sting's really coming, wouldn't that be great? If Sting came down from the rafters or was up in the rafters after Undertaker wins, and that's how you go ahead and build to WrestleMania 31, that would be amazing. Sting attack Undertaker with the bat. Oh man, that would be great. That would give you the legitimate reason for Undertaker to be out for the whole next year, like he's going to be anyways. Let's hope that happens. That's another thing I'm really hoping for is a Sting appearance at WrestleMania. There's probably people out there laughing like, oh, it's supposed to happen every year, man. I think this really could be the year for Sting and Sting to sign with WWE. Look for it. Moving on to the Triple H versus Daniel Bryan match. This is going to be a great match. Say what you want about Triple H, but the guy can put on a show still, regardless of what you think about him as COO, creative, whatever. The guy can still wrestle, and Daniel Bryan can carry, a gallon of milk. He could wrestle a gallon of milk in the middle of the ring and it'd be a good match. Whether you think he's overrated or not, the guy's a good wrestler. These two superstars are going to put on a show. And I think everybody's really expecting that Daniel Bryan wins this match. But hey, I can see Triple H maybe pulling it out and screwing over Daniel Bryan once more, doing something that he should get disqualified for or whatever, even though I think this match is going to be a no DQ match or something like that. I see somebody coming out helping Triple H screw over Daniel Bryan, and then that's when you see maybe the return of Vince McMahon, and he demands that Daniel Bryan get put in the match as well. A fatal four-way Evolution minus Flair versus Daniel Bryan, and then have Daniel Bryan get over in that match. Wow. Either way, WrestleMania is probably going to end with a huge yes chant. That's going to get goosebumps on everybody's arms, even if you don't like Daniel Bryan. Anytime a crowd is in unison and in pop form like that, that's how events are supposed to end. You see Mick Foley say it. He wanted to see the largest yes chant, 75,000 strong. You want to see a yes chant. It's going to be at WrestleMania 30 and it's going to be huge. The question for that match, this match here with Triple H and Daniel Bryan is, when does it happen? I almost want to say they definitely can't have it right before the triple threat, unless it's going to be a quick match, because whatever the case be, they're definitely going to be, out of energy for sure going into that triple threat. I don't want to see him open up WrestleMania with the match either, though. I think that's too long in between, especially when the match between Bryan and Triple H. If Bryan wins that, it's almost a foregone conclusion that Bryan's going to win the title. So either way. In a triple threat match, if Daniel Bryan's there, he's going to win. The question is, how does he beat Triple H? Does he beat Triple H? And if he doesn't, how does he get into the title match? Because I think no matter what, he's going to be in that title match and he's going to be leaving with the title. Hell, maybe we see a new belt, a new undisputed championship belt with the words yes in it. How would you guys feel about that? I want to know how you would feel about a Yes Championship belt. Let us know on Twitter at Rope Break Wrestling. And that's right here on the little picture here in the YouTube video. If you don't know how to spell it, you're like, what the hell is this guy saying? There it is right there. Let us know on Facebook. Let us know right here in the comments. Why are you not commenting on this video? Okay, so before we talk about the title match, which we basically just did, why not let you guys know about Nick the Cena Fan? If you haven't seen the first interview with Nick the Cena Fan, it's on our page. It's on ropebreakwrestling.com. It's on our Facebook page. It's on our YouTube page. Watch it. It's a 10-year-old John Cena fan named Nick, and he's telling us why he likes John Cena, which you'll be surprised to hear why he likes John Cena. You'll also be surprised to hear why he really thinks that CM Punk quit. It's pretty refreshing coming from a 10-year-old, because at that age, you know, we were all still thinking about how real it was to us. And it's refreshing to see a young kid that's so into the programs that WWE puts out. And, he honest to God believes in his reason why CM Punk quit. You have to go check that video out. Like I said, it's on our Facebook page. It's on our website, ropebreakwrestling.com, and it's right here on the YouTube page. Maybe if you're lucky, there's a link in the description. But moving on, we'll talk about that triple threat match. First and foremost, I want to know who you guys think is going to be in the match. Do you think it's going to be Triple H or Daniel Bryan or both, and it becomes a fatal four-way? I mean, I like the symmetry with WrestleMania 30. There's a lot of, there's 3-on-3 with, Shield and Kane and the Outlaws. Then you've also got the triple threat match. 3 seems to be the number for WrestleMania 30. But who do you think is going to be in the match? Daniel Bryan, Triple H, or both? Let us know on Twitter, on the comments here. I think no matter what, Daniel Bryan's going to be in the title match. Daniel Bryan's going to walk out here. The question is, where do Batista and Randy Orton go from there? It was reported when Batista was first coming in that he was going to be here up until SummerSlam, and he was going to have a major WWE World Heavyweight Championship reign. Apparently, that's guaranteed in his contract. I'm not sure if that's true or not, but if that's the case, when does he get it? Do we start a program between Batista and Daniel Bryan? I think that would be appropriate. I think Batista, given his heel status right now, everybody already hates him. Why not piggyback off that and, make Batista versus Daniel Bryan the program? Then maybe you have Randy Orton as the disciple that, Triple H, he put his faith in Randy Orton to beat Daniel Bryan to make sure he didn't win that title, and he didn't do it for him. And hell, Randy Orton just turns on Triple H. I'd like to see those two feud. But then again, how often is Triple H going to wrestle? Is it going to be an Undertaker style thing like he's done the past couple of years where it's like once a year? Or does he come over and put over Curtis Axel in the middle of nowhere? Either way, for the last time, that's the last time I'll say it. I'll say it one more time. Either way, WrestleMania 30, it's going to be an explosion. It's going to be a great pay-per-view. I really don't think they're going to let us down this time, which, we've probably been saying for the past couple pay-per-views, this is the one. This is the one. No, really, I think they did the proper slow burn here, and I think WrestleMania 30 is going to be the one, and hopefully it's something that we'll all be talking about for a long time. But next week, same time, we're going to come back here on Wednesday, April 2nd. We're going to talk more about WrestleMania. We'll see. We'll recap Raw from that week. The go-home edition of Raw. We're going to see what's concrete in the card at that point. Where do all these feuds come from? Maybe we'll get some information about the Divas Invitational and some matches that possibly we don't know about already. So stay tuned. Check it out. Like us on Facebook, ropebreakwrestling.com. Like, share, and subscribe this video. And of course, tweet us, follow us on Twitter, Rope Break Wrestling. We need you. Stay tuned. Why? I'm not saying because we need followers, we need likes, etc. Yes, we do, but I'm telling you, it benefits you because we're going to have a huge WrestleMania giveaway. Huge. We've given away figures in the past. It's going to be better for WrestleMania 30, bigger and better than ever. Not quite what Mick Foley's giving away, but hell, this is all coming out of our own pockets. We're doing it for you guys, so stay tuned on ropebreakwrestling.com. Thanks for coming out. Thanks for listening. If you actually made it all the way through the podcast, hell, you're one trooper, and you probably deserve a title reign of your own. Once again, I'm AuSSy, and this was the Rope Break Road to Mania podcast, episode 1. Next week, it's episode 2. What you gonna do?